sorry everyone for keeping you. Obviously really disappointed with the results. My job is a team. Game that could have gone for us or against us. I think we all saw that. A tense game and one that we lost. So frustrated to lose, frustrated for everybody, and yeah.
The players forgot how to win out with CL games because you had the advantage in half time.
I listen.
As soon as that first goal went in, you could feel the atmosphere change and the confidence.
I think that's just football. I don't know about forgetting to win. I remember with Sean Dyche said that last year about us, and then we went and beat Man United and beat Chelsea, or these games to go and help us stay up. But it's clear in football that sometimes if you aren't winning games, it become contagious in terms of confidence and the feeling of winning the games. And we know we're in that spot. So when you go 1-0 up, it's crucial that you dig in and you don't make a mistake to give a goal in the second half and all these things. Both their goals could have been stopped from our point of view. Feels like a casual statement, forgetting how to win, but I understand the point in that we're in a period of games when we're not winning.
Looking at the stats as well, you've only scored 9 goals in the last 13 games. You've only scored more than 1 goal in 2 games all season. How is that going to even be sustainable to stay up with you?
No, you have to do better. We have to do better. We have to do better. We talked about it a lot in terms of what an attacking threat, a clinical threat does to games. You see it in the league, the feeling of the game. To not score enough goals is hard because you can have good periods in games. If you're not scoring, it keeps the other team in the game. And those things, and it's been a problem for us this year without a doubt. So sometimes as a coach you want to work to get there. The last bit is the hard bit in terms of sometimes you need an individual to score. That's not me taking my responsibility out of it, but it's a fact and we haven't done it enough.
Frank, there's an overall malaise with everything with the fans and everything like that. What can you, when you get a snowball like that in football, you've been around, it's very hard to stop the momentum. What can be done from you, the board, the fans now to kind of change it around?
Well, I can only focus on me and the players because that's my responsibility first and foremost, and it's only work. And it's easy said, it sounds really a simple answer, but it's only work and focus because it's not easy when you lose games, because when you lose them in a consecutive time, like at the minute we haven't won enough games and it becomes harder and you have to dig in more. You have to understand your responsibility of playing for Everton and my responsibility of coaching Everton and give everything you can. Those have always been the rules.
And are there 2 very separate issues? The fact that the fans were going to protest and the directors couldn't be here, and the performance on the pitch. Can you separate them? Do you think they don't overlap?
I don't think I need to separate them or overlap them. I only have to focus on what we do. So it's all hearsay to what point. I think that could add to the game. I certainly wouldn't use it as an excuse from our point of view.
Frank, you've got West Ham next. How on earth do you lift your players?
Well, we have to. It's one of the hardest things about being in these situations of a fight is that when you lose games, and we were there last year, is that you go again, and it's just it's next weekend. We've got time. Everybody has to lift, and the first person that has to do that is me. Simple as that.
How are you doing? Are you getting to the stage where you're drained by all this?
No, because when you sign up for this job, when I take the challenge of managing Everton in the place where we were last year, you have to take that on. And I'm fortunate, in the fact of probably I've been in the game a long time, and you become quite tough to these things. You need good support around you. You need all those things, and it becomes your life. The only thing I want to do is try and bring success to this club, whatever the relative success is. So the challenge of that is always a good thing. And I think sometimes in management, maybe in life, you have to see, well, what's the best opportunity here out of this to try and turn this around? Because if I don't feel like that, then what's the point? So.
Frank, you spoke before this game about wanting to prove people wrong in terms of your managerial ability. Do you have a message to the fans? Obviously, you believe in yourself, you're going to do that, but do you have a message to them? this point about the confidence, how you can turn things around?
I don't have a message on that point of view because I have to be confident in my coaching ability. I've coached, at Derby County now. I've coached at Chelsea. I've coached in the Champions League. I coached at Everton last season. I'm coaching them now. So I have to work with the team that I've got and find a way to make us as good as we can be. So I don't think that's a message to the fans. The message to the fans will always be that I want to create a team that can fight, show passion, and show that myself, to be fair. So in terms of myself, no, we're in a tough moment, so everything can look tough and feel tough. But in terms of my abilities, I always remain confident about that because I know I'm not a miracle worker. I know I'm not the best coach in the world necessarily. I mean, to proclaim that I would be stupid anyway because so many people have got things and successes behind them. But I know I'll work as hard as I can be to be as good as I can be. And I think that's it.
Pre-match, I don't think the importance of this game was lost on many, obviously, with both teams struggling at the bottom of the table. Does Southampton being 3 points behind coming into the day and now obviously getting a boost themselves, does that make this defeat hurt more than a normal defeat, or does it just feel like the same?
No, clearly when you're against a competitor, I think, and the feeling of the game feels like more intense because you're close together, I think is normal. And then there's the balance of that, knowing that we've got a lot of games to come. It's hard to speak positively about that off the back of the defeat straight away. That's one to come away from, and then West Ham next game, and there were a lot of games, and there's a lot of points, and we know what a run of wins can make. But at the moment, because we're not getting the results we want, we have to dig in even more to try and get the result that can turn the feeling. You look at Southampton coming into this game, a lot of runs of defeats. 2 cup wins, and you can see the sense of confidence they've got when they got back in the game at 1-1, and we need our version of that.
I guess that just shows how quickly momentum can grow in this division, but also how quickly teams can kind of sink when it's not going well.
Sure, and there's a lot we need to do to find the momentum. We need to work hard. We need to see what we can do in January. We need to be competitive in every single way, so that all those things come together.
Paul?
Just really gathering thoughts on the board being absent today. The reasons for the board being absent today.
No, it's a difficult time. I don't have thoughts in as such that I don't want to comment on it now off the back of the game. I'm more concerned about the game, that we didn't win the game, because that's my first port of call. I said it yesterday, and that's not me making light of anything. I understand the situation we're in. I hear the noise, but I have to keep working. And the one thing I said yesterday, which I think is really important for me, is that everybody involved here in every side is for Everton. We want to be successful. We're passionate about what we do, and we need to just keep working in our own way to do the best. And my first way of coach is to wake up tomorrow morning and go, okay, let's go again.
Okay, folks.
Thanks all. Cheers. Thank you.
No worries.